Hey guys, LuckyHD here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the new Tanorian Scarasite and the dark truth about what exactly this Tanorian is and what it's based off of. If you guys do enjoy this video, go down there, like, subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so over the last couple of days, I have seen a ton of people asking what exactly is Scarasite, because on the surface it looks like a fish, but then you see the giant thing sticking out of it, and you start to think otherwise. Scarasite was actually created all the way back in the summer of 2023, initially as a joke design. Back then, we had a different idea as to what the final dex count would be, and this was about, I think, when we had around 80-ish Tanorians, and we were kind of like, alright, no more Tanorians after this. Alright, we have quite a bit. However, Bia wanted to play a prank on the other developers and have me create a new design, and he would import it into the game with all of its stats and everything, and all of the model and the walk animations and everything, right? And we would go record some direct footage, and then I would bring it out, and then obviously get people's reactions. And it was pretty funny because the team was genuinely really confused, but we all just liked it so much that we kept it into the game. And obviously thereafter too, we ended up expanding things out, and obviously we did end up doing more designs, so at the end of the day, it did fit inside of the game. During that time though, there was definitely some wacky suggestions being thrown around, like from Bia, who suggested that we make Scarasite also able to pop out of Mysticade and Illumigant. And I'm honestly glad that we did not do that, because that actually, I think, would have been disturbing. But now, obviously, let's go into actually what Scarasite is, because it's a lot more creepy than you would think. Going into its dex entry right here, it says, the hosts Scarasite inhabit are from faraway seas. Farm? Why does it say farm? Anyways, faraway seas. It is believed its evolution prior latches onto its host and steals the energy it gains, ultimately evolving while still inside the host and using its body to swim to a warmer climate. Now, before we do continue this video, I would recommend, if you are squeamish by I guess fish and parasites and stuff like that, definitely click off of this video. Anyways, without further ado, this right here is what Scarasite was based off of, if you couldn't already tell. It is based off of the tongue-eating louse. The tongue-eating louse is essentially a type of parasitic isopod that replaces the tongue of fish. And I know, that sounds really weird, but it's true. It replaces the tongue of the fish by essentially just eating it. Eating the tongue of the fish and replacing it, sitting there until either the fish dies or it gets eaten by something else. And what it does to survive is essentially just suck off of the blood of the fish over and over again for basically the rest of the fish's life. And surprisingly, this doesn't actually do much to the fish. Unless if there's like a bunch of the isopods inside of the fish's mouth, the fish can actually just go on and live about its normal life, considering the fact that, again, it actually replaces the tongue quite perfectly. So the idea that I had with Scarasite is having this hypothetical pre-evolution with, you know, whatever this other hypothetical fish is, in the other part of Tanorio's region. Essentially, the little pre-evolution latches into the fish's mouth, and then instead of stealing the blood from the fish or anything like that, it actually steals the experience points that the fish would naturally gain. And from there, it grows so big that it evolves, and yeah, it basically just pushes itself out of the fish. As you can see, the fish does not have an eye socket anymore. That's because the arms have completely pushed the eyes out of the fish's body, and now it just swims around inside of the carcass of the fish. It is a very gruesome Tanorian, and quite disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. Now, if we actually load up the model of Scarasite right here, you can see this is the design. This is the full design right here. And I'd like to go over, obviously, a couple things with it. First off, as you can notice right here, the body. The whole thing is obviously white to kind of give it a skeletal or ghostly look. However, the little socket right here that is actually for the arm is black, and it's kind of like a eyeball almost. If you look look at the fish, and let's say, you know, you get rid of this part of the arm, it was actually designed with it being black right here to mimic the missing eye of the fish. So it technically gives an illusion anytime you look around it that the fish is actually just looking at you with its quote-unquote eye. Even though in reality, if we actually take it, we can move the fish off of the Scarasite thing, and yeah, you can see the giant flesh carcass it swims around in. I think if I could go back and actually, you know, change a couple things about the design, I definitely think that I would. However, all in all, I still am super proud of this design. I think it is very, very clever, and again, it is one of my favorite designs that I have done for Tales of Tanorio, and I am pretty salty about one thing though with it, and that is going to be some of the animations. Because a lot of the animations, if I go to, for example, the feint right here, right? The feint, as you can see, goes like that, right? He kind of launches himself out of the thing, and this is very, very apparent for a ton of Tales of Tanorio animations, but if you actually look at the in-game feint animation, it is a lot different, and that is just due to how Roblox scales down the bones and stuff like that. I've always really, really wanted just to tell Bia, hey, can we just change how feints work in the game? Because basically what it does is it only takes like the first couple seconds of the animation, and then from there it will start scaling the entire thing down. And again, this is just so problematic because it messes up so many amazing Tanorian animations, and still does to this day. Just like Scarasite right here, that, as you can see, actually has an animation where it comes out of the fish. And we're getting a little off track right here, but this is the exact same thing that I mean when I'm talking about like other stuff like Guardian Hamroar. Guardian Hamroar has this really sick animation where, you know, it goes like this, goes on one knee, has the trident sticking into the ground, the crown falls off of its head, all that stuff. When you actually look at it in game, it's meh. There's so many good animations that unfortunately either get ruined by either Roblox or obviously just the stuff that we have in the game, like the scaling down. Anyways, obviously, back to talking about Scarasite. Scarasite's name is derived from, obviously, scare, which is, you know, kind of the ghostly nature of it, as you can see. Again, it is a pretty horrifying Tanorian, all things considered, and, of course, parasite, which is, you know, what it is. I mean, it is a parasitic louse, and it's a pretty simple name, but I think it works quite well. Some other original names that we actually had for it was going to be Parafrite, but I kind of did a little thing. I was like, should we do Parafrite or Scarasite? And everybody kind of agreed that, yeah, Scarasite sounds a lot better here. Finishing things off with the Shiny. The Shiny is actually just a complete color swap of what the original palette looks like. It uses the exact same colors from the fish, actually, to basically just get the colors that you see right here. There's no really rhyme or reason as to why, you know, this Shiny exists. Truth be told, Shinies in general, I think, are one of those things in creature capturing games where a lot of the times they don't really make sense. I mean, Lampyro has a shiny, and it's an anomaly. And anomalies, in a theoretical sense, should not have shinies, right? But again, specific stuff like this, obviously, you kind of just gotta make whatever looks coolest. You know what I mean? And when I was making this shiny, I said, hey, this would look absolutely sick, and personally, I think it turned out really, really well. But yeah, guys, that about does it, obviously, for Scarasite. Let me know your thoughts about this design down in the comments below. Once again, you know, I saw the feedback on, you know, some videos like this in the past, and you guys said that I should do more of these, so obviously, I did another one. But yeah, once again, leave your comments down below as to what Tanorian of mine you want to see me actually explain or do a little lore video next, and I'll definitely be looking at a bunch of your guys' replies and taking that into consideration for my next video. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, go down there, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.